Hello everybody, Ray over at CigarClimatology. I got a lot of questions, actually recently, probably because it's winter, about my heater assemblies. And I actually just got off the phone with another gentleman, was talking to me a little about heater assemblies and asked me some about my heaters. And this is a Generation 12 heater, so this is one of my heater assemblies. And there's just a couple of things to take note about it. First off, the heater is enclosed in this enclosure, and it serves two purposes. First off, the heater assembly supports my overall circulation strategy inside the humidor. So this particular fan, which runs through the heater, runs 24/7 inside the cooler like the rest of my circulation fans. So that's one aspect of it. There's actually two parts of the heater assembly. One would be as a general circulation assembly, and the other as the formal heater. The air doesn't bother the heater in any way, shape, or form. So when the heater is not running, obviously it makes very little difference. Since the heater's fairly high flow, and I provide there's a lot of room in here for the heater and for the airflow. It doesn't really impede the airflow, so I still get a lot of good airflow out of this ducted assembly. These are typically mounted as such in one of my humidors, where this goes at the end of a shelf and then exhausts up in the free space between the boxes of cigars and the glass door. And this is actually a pivoting assembly. So as you can see, if you had any desire to help the circulation inside of your particular project by focusing the air in any one of a number of different directions, you can actually do this. It's permanently mounted, and but it does swivel, and there's very little impedance to airflow even through the swivel assembly. Now, in my humidors, I mount this on the bottom of a shelf, and we do that via a DIN rail. And so this guy just snaps on like that, and then is basically held in place by the DIN rail. I use the double stick tape just to essentially hold the DIN rail before you put the screws in. A couple of screws go in here. But that's the way it works. So if you do want to disassemble this, or you wanted to take it out, you don't have to get inside the project and actually unscrew or anything. You just unsnap it off the DIN rail, and then you can take the heater and you could move it around. Or you could get yourself, of course, DIN rail, and put this thing in potentially other locations, side mount it, do whatever. But this particular DIN rail clip is sufficient enough to hold and support the heater. I've actually added the little additional strength of the 1/4-inch ABS up here at the top to make sure that it supports the heat. Now, one of the things that you don't want to do is you don't want to run the heater without airflow through it. Actually, the heat will drizzle through here, but it can get kind of hot. And plastics, when you heat them up, you don't really want the smell of that. So it's very important that if you do use some type of heater assembly inside of your humidors, that you run enough air through them so that they don't cook plastic or get hot enough to really give you a smell inside your humidor. So anyway, that's the tour on the Generation 12 heater. Any of you that had questions or wanted to know more about it, I hope that answers them for you. Thanks for watching.